shooting a documentary at Prop 102, and we're going to the target source, which is City Hall.
I'm gonna walk around and take some footage. First, I'm gonna walk around. I got you, too bad.
Yeah, so I'll put it on YouTube. You know, the usual business. Yes. Alright, see, everyone cheers you. Alright, come on.
And I am your city councilman. We have a lot to be thankful for this morning. We have the right to be here on city property. We have the support of the city and the police to be here. We have parties and celebrations nationwide to celebrate our pride. And yet, through all of those parties and celebrations that we have done for so many years now, we have let our rights slip away because we weren't paying attention. Today is a new kind of gay pride.
'93 cities will join with us within this moment of silence. If we have any faith leaders among us, can you please come to the right side of the stage?
Very briefly about a history of this country. I think that you all know this country was founded by white men who had property to defend themselves and their property and to assault others in the process and obtain more property. And in the history of this country, each and every change has been a change towards inclusion. And those white men had to ultimately invite white men without property into the room to make that decision. And ultimately they had to invite women into the room to make that decision. And then they invited black people and brown people into the room to make that decision. And each time they extended an invitation, they pretended as if though it came from inside themselves, from some thoughtful realization, some step towards equality. But each time they extended an invitation is because we tore the door down. And there was no choice but to extend that invitation. And so we all are here today, and we are here the day after, a week after, a great celebration for this country, a celebration where in fact we can say that we have torn away chains that have symbolically held us as a people and as a nation. And we can celebrate that moment But we have to recognize as we celebrate that moment that that was a victory. Hate lives still. Hate still lives in this state and this country. I'm a Catholic. Let me talk to you a bit about my bishop, and then I'll be quiet. A bit about my bishop. This church, this Catholic church in this community is growing and thriving because thousands upon thousands of Mexicans like me keep that church alive. And this past November, we faced a horrible challenge. A horrible challenge. There is a sheriff who runs an active campaign to oppress us and to deport us. Keep this, just this one thought in mind. 43,000 children. Children were deported from this country without their parents. They were deported in cages because they fit cages. They were deported and shackled. I'm talking about 8 and 9 and 10-year-olds. They were deported in this country. And that bishop said not a word. About all those raids that have occurred and will occur tomorrow, that bishop said not a word. What he chose to do instead was use all of the resources and influence in the church to oppress you.
Tax the church!
That's what he chose to do.
Tax the church!
To oppress you. I want to share something with you. That church has been around for 2,000 years. It will outlive this bigot. It will outlive this bigot, and so will you. Remember the history of this country. Each step has been a step towards inclusion, and no invitation ever went out willfully. It was because we banged the door down. It is your turn to bang the door down